Hi guys, and welcome to stage 2 of hops. Just putting up some pics here of some hop flowers I used in the brew a few years ago. So this is kind of what I'm aiming at, is some nice fresh hops that I can use in brewing. So here's some plants that I grew about 6 years ago, and in a different place. The hop cone is actually a flower, and you can see that the yellow sort of pollen-like substance in there, and that's actually the bittering agent. So that gives the beer its characteristic bitterness. Comes out of that yellow lupulin and humulone, which is what the actual chemicals are called. This is how they grow. They grow on bines, so they grow up very tall, up to 30 foot. These plants are a couple of years old. But just back to my garden here, so I'm trying to get some hops established today. You saw the rhizomes in the last video, and just to remind you, the rhizomes are the rootstock from which the hops grow. It's really good weather for planting. As you can see, there's a bit of rain around, like a misty rain. Perfect time to get some seeds in, perfect time to plant seedlings, perfect time to plant hop rhizomes as well. So I've just cleaned up the compost pile here. We had a look at that in the previous video, but what I've done is just added some chicken manure, and I've just turned all that over and pulled out some of the more coarse uncomposted corn stalks and keep them to the side. I'm going to plant the hops up the back here near the fence. I've just got a bit of a space issue, but I think this is a spot where they'll be able to naturally, just in the first year they won't grow as tall, so they'll naturally be able to just grow up that shrub behind there, and I'll just run some strings up to the branches for the first year. Probably only get 6 foot or so. So the first step here is just dig some sort of mounds. I've just piled compost and a little bit of soil and some chicken manure and cow manure directly onto the top here. So I'm using a bit of a no-dig method, and then within that I've just dug these little burrows about 6 inches deep, and I put the rhizomes in there. You can see the new shoots coming on the rhizomes. So I've got 2 rhizomes in each mound, and the mounds are separated by about half a metre or so, and so each mound has its own variety. So I've got Cascade, and then I've got Chinook, and then I've got Goldings. So it's just a matter of 4 inches deep, covering that over, making sure it's really friable, high in organic matter, chucking some little labels in so I know which mound corresponds to which variety. And I've also put them in alphabetical order from left to right, just to help me remember as well. There's a tree there, and I think I'll just run some strings once they start to emerge. Might be a few weeks, then I'll run some strings for them to train up. And that dill's coming on really well. So here's some hop poles from a previous hop garden that I've had, and these go up 30 foot. I've got 2 hop poles here, so you can run a horizontal line between them, and you can train the hops up multiple strings. I don't think I'll worry about that this year, but perhaps next year I'll put the hop pole up. So this is some photos here of hops growing on a trellis that I used to have set up. So that those poles you just saw, this is a trellis set up here, and you can have 30 or more plants trained up those lines. So it's a very efficient way of growing them. And I'll show you next time when we have some hops emerging.